Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland gave her World Economic Forum schedule to the state broadcaster while blocking other media from having that same information. Today, I'll show you the documents to prove the federal government's favoritism towards their darlings over at the CBC.
At the end of the day, the question we have to ask ourselves is, will this make the life of the people I represent better? Will it create great jobs that people can build a life on and have hope and optimism for the future with?
Today's story was made possible thanks to your generous crowdfunded donations to a special website, rebelinvestigates.com. Your donations there help us file for access documents into all levels of government, and we rely on your support because, unlike our competitors in the mainstream media, we'll never take a penny from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. So you help us remain fiercely independent, and we thank you for that. Now, we recently filed for access documents related to the Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland's World Economic Forum trip back in January. We asked for those documents from the Department of Finance. We wanted to know specifically about her travel plans, given that she's been a member of the World Economic Forum for years, and she was the only Canadian minister in attendance at January's Globalist Cabal conference in Davos, Switzerland.
All the countries in the world need to be very careful that decarbonization does not mean deindustrialization. I thought that was an extremely smart comment, and Canada is absolutely determined that decarbonization for us will mean more jobs, more growth, more manufacturing.
However, travel records are not what we received back. We will still file with Global Affairs and the Deputy Prime Minister's office specifically for those. Instead, we received back 24 pages of heavily redacted documents about the unequal treatment of media requests and the overt favoritism shown to CBC Radio Canada by the Department of Finance. I'm not even sure why the department sent me these documents because they are completely unrelated to my request about travel, but I'm sure glad they did. What a happy little accident. Now, in these documents, we can see that there are 3 separate media requests, one from Politico, one from the Epoch Times, and one from CBC Radio Canada to be specific. There's a 4th media request, but it's asking for a sit-down between Freeland and Sky News Arabia. That one went ignored. Epoch Times wanted to know more details about Freeland's activities in Davos, including who she's meeting with, what her objectives are, and if she's participating in undisclosed sessions like she has in previous years. That media request went ignored. Politico asked if the Department of National Defence could confirm the name of the Canadian representative at the 4th Peace Forum meeting of National Security Advisors in Davos. That request was passed along to the Canadian forces who, quote, held off on responding. And then CBC got very special treatment. CBC was able to call directly into the ministry without sending a written request regarding the delegation to Davos. And here's proof of the very special response and direct care and attention from the press secretary at Finance to the CBC. Hi, John. Our press secretary reached out to the reporter to confirm that the Deputy Prime Minister was going. You can't close that file on your end. If you have further requests on the matter, please check in before referring. Department of National Defence has a similar request today as well, but not related to the Deputy Prime Minister, and this one will be answered in a different manner. Signed, Benoit Mayrand, Media Relations, Department of Finance. That email was dated the 16th of January, one full day before the Deputy Prime Minister's official schedule was released to the rest of the media on the 17th. CBC got advanced warning and concierge treatment through the system. So not only does CBC get special funding, they also get special access to the Trudeau Liberals that other journalists don't get. File under, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Thanks to everybody who made this important accountability journalism possible by donating to rebelinvestigates.com. Your donations there help fund our access filings and help us hold governments to account for the things they do behind closed doors.